Thanks for joining me, PE teachers. I created this professional development for you. I went out and found brand new resources that I hope are also new to you. They were new to me. But just a reminder that all of these addresses, all these websites are in your resource pack. So you can use those, take notes as you go, but don't feel like you have to write down every single address. Hi, I'm Meg Ormiston, and I love doing this kind of professional development. I hope you are somewhere comfortable and will enjoy our lesson together. I wanted to start with the section on growth mindset. Really big right now, based in science, but it really is important. And I know you talk about growth mindset in all your work with students in the classroom, as well as in the various sports that you might um, coach. But bringing it to really talk about it is really become quite something. So this whole idea of a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset is really important. That's where I wanted to start. And there's a lot of resources out there. And I love this one. Class Dojo is a behavior management system. You could be using it in the PE classroom where you give classes points for behavior. It's kind of targeted, I would definitely say more elementary, but they have developed a series of 5 videos about growth mindset that I have seen done with kindergartners and high school kids. But it really brings a very complicated science down to a way that students can understand growth mindset. For me, this is my favorite graphic. And on the left, we have the growth mindset. On the right, we have the fixed mindset. Fixed means you're either good at it or you're not. You know how many kids, oh, I'm bad at baseball or I'm bad at this. That's a fixed mindset. Where students that embrace a growth mindset will try, try, try. You know, our greatest athletes might not have been our most gifted. They're the ones that tried the hardest. They had the growth mindset, they could get better. If you stay on the right side in the black and white, a lot of kids get frustrated. I can't do it. I can't. They start with the I can'ts before they even do the I try or I want to try. But look at the very bottom. This is what I think we've created. It's a learned helplessness. We've created this in our school that they don't really need to think because we are going to give them a rubric. We're going to tell them exactly what to do. We are going to tell them how long to do it and what's going to be on each page of whatever. We need to change that, and we need to go over to the left side with this success that I can learn anything I want. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep working. And what I find interesting, and as I do a lot of travel nationally and internationally, is I find a lot of adults in schools that have a fixed mindset, that aren't thinking about growth and aren't really embracing that. And they kind of go into a learned helplessness that it almost try to blame the system. It's just not my fault. So we really need to be talking about growth versus fixed mindset all the time. I love this graphic. I'd love to see it in every classroom, every hallway, everywhere, because I want us to be studying underneath the water and talking about it when things are hard, when you're disappointed, when you have bad habits or versus good habits. We we try to make everything so happy. There is failure in life, and we can learn from that, and we can come back from that. And if we had this visual, almost any student say, "Where are you today?" and they could point to where they are. This one's a good one. I won't do it. Look at that bottom one. You know you have kids like that. Nope, I won't. I won't do that. And then, where are you today? What a great visual that to help students say, okay, should I try it? I'll try it. And I think that I really, really like this visual. Now, there's a lot of people talking about this right now. Um, Personalized learning, grit, growth mindset. There's a lot of talk, and it's not just with scientists. It's with scientists talking to educators and about the brain, and it's not going away. It's exciting stuff, really. Now, this is what I'm reading right now. This is 2 of the books that I'm reading right now. Both of these made it to the bestseller list, and they really are coming out of psychology, but as it applies to parenting, business, teaching, relationships. The one on the left, mindset, that is by the kind of the founder of growth mindset, Carol Dweck from Stanford, and she's this book is, even though it's coming from a professor and from Stanford. It's quite an easy read. It's a great read, especially both of these books if you are a parent. It really helps you to kind of really be thinking about some of the things you're doing as a parent. I'm reading it through the lens of a parent with kids in college and an educator. Angela's book is about passion, perseverance, and that's what you're teaching all the time as you're coaching and you're working with students. So I thought these two books would be specifically be interesting to you. So I'm working with schools that their whole culture, everything is talking about growth mindset. One of my favorite stories is a high school teacher. The school was working on growth mindset. A high school teacher made a comment like the week before homecoming or something. I cannot get back to the story. I have to find it. And he said to his high school students, he said, "Oh, I can't dance. No, I can't dance." And the kids called him out and said, "That is not a growth mindset." And the whole class went to his to teach him how to dance, and he had to dance during homecoming. It's a cool story. But talk growth mindset. That's the most important thing. I found this coming off Twitter. I had never heard of it, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. But it is a free app. I know there's a lot of for fee things that we can get, but it's a free app to put together a recruiting kind of video. I think it guides you through what you should have and how you should do it. I I'm not the expert that you are, but I thought I would put it out there. I've seen things like Coach's Eye, and I know there's services because my college boys are golfers. I know there's services that would like money, but I thought this would be at least interesting for you to investigate. Now, I was thinking about some of those days that you might not be able to be in the gym outside. I was trying to think of giving you some other tools. And this one I thought might be a great way to bring physical activity to social studies or to maybe a novel or story that they're reading in a classroom where you actually design a treasure hunt. And so maybe that's something that you could do out on the playground, tie in some literacy into your PE classroom. And this is what they look like. They're missions, and you go on a mission, and there's tips all the way along the line. You pick up coins. I haven't done one yet, but it looked kind of interesting. Z maps. I was thinking about data meets a map, and I wasn't quite sure how that could work with what you do. But if there were like locations of places, and then where are they on the map? I don't know. I'm not sure on this with PE, but I thought I'd throw it in there. This one for sure I think PE could use. It's you find a map and then you can place objects or you can doodle over the map. So I was thinking of all those apps that are out there for, mark my run or, how far did I walk, that kind of thing. This one doesn't depend on an app. So, for example, you might be in a school with a Chromebook. You can't be in your gym one day. This might be a really cool activity or something that you can do where you embed images and different things within a map. That's why I included it. This one again, I'm not sure. It's visualize your map data for free. This basically is you can put in all types of data, anything that can go in a spreadsheet. Then it meets a map. So it's kind of like the Z one. I don't know. We won't spend a lot of time there. Not sure on this one. Big thing that I'm doing a lot of research on is earning badges. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I'm doing some research. A lot of people are talking about badges. This happens to be the archive from a Twitter chat a couple of years ago about the idea of digital badges. To earn a digital badge, you have to do a criteria, a certain things, similar to, if you want, like a Boy Scout, Girl Scout, that kind of the concept's the same, but you would design the badges. So maybe in PE, to earn the softball badge, you have to do X, and they have to be evaluated this way, and then you can earn the badge. There's all these different websites that you can go and design your own badges. This is an example of what the Khan Academy does. That doesn't tie to PE. Khan Academy is very strong in math and science, but really not in PE. But this one is class badges. Anybody can set them up and design their own badges. So if, let's say, you're at elementary or middle school, you could have a series of badges, or Experiences students can work through inside or outside of school, and they demonstrate performance to you to earn a badge. Something to think about. We're going to hear a lot more about this in the future, but I wanted to kind of float it out there to you just to be thinking. Might be a cool kind of incentive system, get your students moving more inside and outside of school. This one's class badges. This one is from Mozilla. This is kind of a bigger one. This one is um, trying to get traction out in the world of like computer science, where you would get a badge that you know how to do this type of programming, you know how to do this. I'm not seeing this open badges as much as in this one in the classroom, but I wanted to include it to let you know that this isn't just one website or one thing out there thinking about it. There's a lot of people discussing and thinking about open badges. If your school is using something like Edmodo, you already have badges that you can give. Edmodo is one of them. I think Schoology also has badges. So you might already have things going on. This is a big thing. If you know me, I don't reinvent the wheel. There's so many resources out there. How can we find them? And that's where I think it's important for us to really think about connecting beyond the walls of the classroom. And a lot of people at first blush go, why? Why would I do that? I'm busy enough. I can't do that. Well, if we started to unite, maybe we can find that we don't have to do everything by ourselves. What you're looking at is phys ed map. That's what I'm going to call it. This is one of those maps that I was telling you about earlier, where it took a spreadsheet of information and put it on a map. So somebody, somewhere, sometime, made a spreadsheet of all the PE teachers on Twitter, and we'll get there in a few minutes. And they made a spreadsheet, and then they married it with one of those mapping programs that I showed you earlier. And now you can see we've got a lot of PE people involved on Twitter in the United States, but maybe you want to connect with somebody else. And if you are on the website live, you can mouse over each of those push pins to see who they are. So connecting beyond the walls of your classroom, you can do that with students, student work to connect with students, or you can do it professionally. This is probably more of a professional growth kind of thing. Now, professional development for you is dicey. I know that because I do professional development. And one size professional development doesn't fit all. You've been there, you've done it, you've been herded into literacy math workshops and forced to try to make some connections. You need personal professional development. And this is you don't want one size fits all. You want what you need and what you can use right away. That's why I really tried to make this fresh and new and different for you, and I hope they're new resources for you. From Twitter, I found the physicaleducator.com. You have to have the in there. I learned that. And it's filled with resources, but it also is the group that is behind your PE chats. A PE chat is on Twitter. And every Monday, thousands, listen to that, thousands of physical educators from around the world take part in an online Twitter chat on topics related to phys ed. The community votes for the topics, and members moderate the chat. The results is amazing professional development. On the Danielson framework, you want to be amazing. That's why you went into education. This, by participating in the phys ed chat, you get an archive, and it would show your participation to your administrator to show that you're going above and beyond to get quality professional development. I participate in chats all the time. I will tell you, the first couple that you do, you might want to just lurk. Like you might not be ready to jump in, but the resources you'll get, it's just amazing. Usually, they are on a certain topic on a certain night. So let me see. I think yes. Okay, so upcoming, there's a calendar, and then, and so you can see what's coming, and then you can see if you're interested in the topic. You might not be. Come in next week. The past is interesting. That's the archive of everything. So if you miss a chat, no harm, no foul. You can go back to the archives, which is nice. And they are um, all different PE teachers that are moderating those chats. Moderating means you're just like the leader. You're helping make up the questions. That's what that means. If you see on the two, I was kind of watching to see, you don't always know which one, but it looks like PE chat is the biggest one. So what basically you're looking at my tweet deck, and I took my Twitter and I connected my tweet deck, and this is basically the PE column. This might be all you care about. You don't care what's going on in a science classroom or over in social studies. You want to know what are some good PE ideas. A bunch of the rest of them that I have shared with you, those are pulled right off of this chat. But the way to really get good at Twitter is start to follow people like this. This one I found from the PE chat. How about Bangkok? Bangkok. Hello, I can't even speak. How about that? Making connections and sharing digital pedagogy. And look at that. Yep. Go to your administrator and go, yeah, I connected with Thailand last night during the chat. So, very cool opportunities when we think beyond the walls of our school. And then, if you like what these people have to say, you click on their name, just like I did with Darren. Click on their name, and see down in the bottom right corner, you say follow. And then you every time that person posts, you can see what they post. If they get annoying, you can always bump them up. You're not getting married to them. You can always do that. I thought you'd enjoy this story. This is actually a story about my Danny. My Danny is a senior golfer in college at St. Ambrose University in Davenport. Huge social guy, huge TaylorMade golf guy. And so he followed TaylorMade on Instagram years ago. And TaylorMade wanted to do a campaign to release their next driver. And they went to all of their TaylorMade followers and they picked their top 36 followers. What they did, meaning that they went in and they said, who out of our followers has the most followers? There's some formula. You can figure that out. I don't quite know how. And my oldest, Danny, was selected as one of the one. So, he follows TaylorMade, and if he's using their equipment, he always makes sure to hashtag to TaylorMade so that they know that, he's out there advertising for them. So TaylorMade had 105,000 at the time they did this campaign, Instagram followers. The top 36 were asked to help build the club. That's what they call this campaign. And if you look in the bottom right corner, one up from the bottom, Ormy 33 is Danny. He was so excited. I'll never forget the call. Oh, TaylorMade called. They want me to release, part of the club. And it was kind of a really cool campaign. They basically released a picture in kind of like a memory game kind of thing. He was pretty bummed out. He said his part of the driver was pretty ugly. And if you looked over to the right, where it says TaylorMade 72, that was his part. He's like, not great. And then, after much suspense, we see the driver. And I kind of forgot about the whole little story of it. They also asked them to cross over to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the other ones that are out there. And so it wasn't strictly an Instagram campaign. It was kind of cross media. Funny thing is, I forgot about it. And I'm out to dinner months later with him, and I said, hey, I forgot about that campaign. What happened? Did you get any swag? Just want to know if you got a T-shirt. Of course, I asked, did you get a driver? And he goes, are you kidding me, Mom? So that didn't work. But but he did get, so I said, did you get a T-shirt? Did you get anything? He said, Mom, I got, whatever number he's going to tell me, unique new followers. It was awesome. It would have taken me years to get that many new followers. So that was pretty exciting. So new followers for the Build the Club. This is the kind of stuff that you might not be jumpy and be freaky Twitter like me, but you at least need to know that these type of things are going on. Some of you might be sports fans. While you're watching a game on television, watch the hashtag of the game. It's amazing how many people are kind of participating and talking about the event. Kind of cool. Some of you have drones. I just want to throw this in here. Here's Danny again, and he's huge on YouTube. And he got the drone 32 hours into his first flight. No, he's had it 32 hours, and probably 20 of them were charging it. And it crashes. He captures the whole thing on video. And because he had his GoPro on there and he was able to document it on social media and get it out there, he found that usually it's, oh, well, too bad, so sad. But by putting it out on social media and Twittering it and doing all these other things, they found that there was actually a flaw in this drone. And hundreds of people, the same thing happened to, kind of in the same thing. But his video helped to show that. So just video is so powerful. That's really what I wanted to show you. I love this. He got a call from the president of the university. Could you please come to my office between your class today? And the president wanted to use it on the website, the picture. And here's my son negotiating for how much they're going to pay him. That was pretty funny. They didn't pay him anything. They didn't use it either, though. So, all right, formative assessment. You might some quick things that you could do if you are in a gym or in a classroom, and for quick assessment. So let's say you just taught a unit. You want to check to see where everybody is. This Flip Me quiz is fun. It's light. It's simple, and it's basically the old Jeopardy game and Disney movies for 100. There's a question, and then the answer. It's simple. But that's a lot of times what you need. Maybe in the gym, you might have a projector, but you need something bold and big. And this is a great site for you. That's what I was thinking. Now in Go Formative, what I like about Go Formative is you can draw pictures. And so you might want to, after you teach something, students could pick up their devices if they have them, and you basically ask a question and they draw an answer for you. Or they can type something for you. But it's just, I wanted to give you some things, is if you are an environment that you want to collect some quick formative assessment. Kahoot, I'm sure you know about Kahoot. That's a lot of fun. My favorite Kahoot story was from a PE department way in southern Illinois. They were screaming. We were all in the cafeteria packed in those really comfortable chairs, and I introduced Kahoot, and they went crazy. I finally had to get back over, you wind around the tables. They found a wrestling rules Kahoot, and they were all screaming and yelling and arguing what was the best. It was probably the richest professional development I've ever seen around wrestling rules. So anything can be made fun in Kahoot. And the last one for formative assessment is Plickers. Plickers is very low tech, which might work awesome in the gym. If you have the device, you get the app. And all students have to do is grab their card. They're numbered. So every student will have a number. Grab their card, and then you could do a quick check of did they get the main points of your lesson. So that's called Plickers. And here, you have to personalize your professional development. I tried very hard to personalize this to you and to find some resources that might not be the most common. And you have to personalize it, and that's hard. But Twitter makes it better. Unconferences, things like that. And thank you. Don't forget you have all the resources. But if you find something and you think it should be included in the future, please make sure you contact me. Meg at megormiston.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day.